Should get me in front of the 4K TV.
What do you think of 4K?
It's awesome.
Do you want one at all?
I want one. I mean, you can't show on your camera the quality of this thing, but you walk up to the screen and you can see the sharpness, and if you step back, it just feels good. It feels like you're looking into a window.
So,
it's a lot better than the 3D stuff, huh?
What do you think?
Although, did you see the 3D OLEDs? Oh my God.
They're cool?
They're very cool, but you have to wear glasses, you know, so, and you have to have $12,000.
But you're used to wearing glasses.
I'm used to, but they don't have prescription glasses, so I have to wear glasses on top of glasses. It doesn't.
Never gonna be prescription 3D glasses?
I think there will be, but I've talked to the guys at Oakley, and it's very hard to do, so that's why we haven't seen it done yet.
So, did you see the post by M.G. Siegler where he said Apple always wins CES? You don't agree, don't you? Do you?
Well, yes, I do. This is really a boring CES. It's the #1 thing I'm hearing.
What do you mean?
It's boring.
What do you mean boring?
It's boring.
This is where all the innovation is.
Where? What innovation? the only thing cool here is this TV.
I mean, the only...
out of how many millions of square feet here? I mean, most of it's iPhone cases. Come on.
But Apple only has...
See, look, he's agreeing with me.
Apple only has a rumored Apple TV. There's no, they never show anything.
I don't really care about the TV because, like you said, the glass on these is so good. The 4K and the new OLED that they're showing off, and maybe Apple should come up with something a little bit sharper. They're not going to build a TV. Give me a break.
Do you think it's boring to look around all this technology and stuff?
No, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch a 4K TV here in the Samsung booth.
But I mean, how can Apple win?
Let's go over to this. Let's go over to the Hall D, and I'll show you all the iPhone cases, and then you'll get bored.
Yeah, the iPhone cases are boring, but everything else is cool, right?
No, not everything. 1%. This is the 1%. This is cool. This is cool. Some of the things I've seen here are actually pretty cool. Car technology is really neat. I talked to Ford yesterday about that. What else has been fun to see?
Navigation things, all the car technology, all this communication between cars.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I think when Microsoft pulls out of here, I think that's really going to become a major part, a bigger part even than it is today.
Why do you think they got kicked out?
From what I hear, they didn't want to pay, and
how much do you think they're paying for?
Let's walk the show. Is Microsoft part of the show anymore? Microsoft used to dominate the show. I mean, every PC had Windows in it. Today, every PC on the show floor has Android. The world is changing, right?
It's an Android conference, right?
It's an Android, and Windows is less and less important.
What's wrong with Android? Android is enabling an industry.
But why would you give the keynote to Microsoft when Android owns the floor? Give it to Google.
So next year, Larry Page is going to be there?
Do
you think it's going to be more fun? I fell asleep at the Bill Gates keynote.
I never even go. I watched a little bit of it streaming because I know it's boring. I had pre-briefing on what they were coming out with, and I knew there was no news. So, you know, that's an example of why they kicked Microsoft out. They never announced news here, and this is a show that demands that there's news here.
There are small startups that do stuff that's much more interesting than what some of the huge companies do.
The best stuff I've seen is in my hotel room by guys who aren't even on the show floor, funded by Kickstarter, right? They're far more interesting than those aisles and aisles of iPhone and Android cases that, you know, who cares if it has bling bling on it.
So Apple made all its money on the iPod and iPhone. Most of the money comes from these two products, I think. And why don't all these huge, gigantic Samsung and all these other companies come up? Why did they leave Apple do this? Why did they leave it up to Apple?
Because they're not smart enough. These guys just don't understand how to build an ecosystem that is world class. They're still betting on these stupid smart TVs with all the widgets on the TVs. It's bullshit. You're never ever gonna tweet on a TV with a remote control. Give me a fucking break. Go do a tablet, get an Android tablet, and hook it up, and do all the tweeting on the tablet, and put the viewing experience, the discovery experience, your TV guide on the tablet. Poke at it. There's something coming out tomorrow, by the way, at LG, running on iPad, but soon Android, that does that. Brings you a a TV guide that brings ABC, CBS, CNN, NBC, ESPN onto the tablet. You push a button and then you watch it on the big screen. That's the way it should work.
So iPod, there's no more money in iPod, kind of, and smartphones, you're seeing the cheap Android phone all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe there might not be so much money left in smartphones soon. So what is the next thing for Apple?
Apps.
Apps?
Yeah, they have 450,000 more apps than Windows Phone.
Apps is enough to make a $350 billion company?
They're still going to make a lot of money. They have the best distribution in the business. They have the best R&D in the business. They can do this TV cheaper than a lot of other companies can. Now, Samsung is going to be a competitor there, but they just bought a chip manufacturer, right? They're building their own hardware. They have control of the supply chain. They have control of the brand at the mall. Arcos doesn't have a store at the mall. Nobody's heard of Arcos in the United States. But they go in and there's an Apple store there, right?
What do you think about wearable computing and stuff like that? Or what could be a big new thing?
I don't know. That's sort of dork. I'm a geek, so I like the thing you're wearing. But normal people, I don't know. And not yet. Although, look at the Jawbone Up, right? That right now it watches how much I walk.
And who designed the old PC who did that?
Yeah. And we are seeing more of these. Motorola has a couple devices that you wear and watch your heart rate and stuff like that. And runners, for instance, people who care about health are interested in that. There's a whole bunch of scales that you step on it graphs your weight over time.
Come on, it's fun, CES. It's not boring.
That's totally boring, man.
It's not a waste of time.
It's fun for us, but I'm getting jaded. The problem is I'm getting jaded. It's harder to impress me, you know? I've seen this shit for years now, and these TVs I can't even buy yet. They're beautiful to look at, but these manufacturers always have a TV you can't afford, you know, to show you something coming in 2 or 3 years.
This word and technology is awesome for you to check it out, what's going on, all these things. I mean, it's fascinating. So many things are going on. The ARM processor is getting super fast, like crazy, right?
Did you see the new data centers that are coming out because of ARM?
Yeah.
Because the servers are this big, very low power, so you can put more and more power into.
Is Rackspace going to do ARM processors? Do you have any info?
But they're looking at it because there's C Micro, and I just saw a new one. I forgot the name of it, but this is why I take pictures. Hold on a sec, I'll tell you.
Calxeda.
What was the name?
HP Moonshot Calxeda?
No, it wasn't HP.
It was ARM server as well. All right.
No, here you go. The XI Corporation. See that data center? The small ARM servers? Oh, that's 4. And this big, and you have 4 times more compute in a little space than you have in a tray computer, right?
Yeah.
So for data center, you can shove a lot more in, less power, and more compute, so cheaper price.
But there's definitely lots more money to be made in this industry. Or do you think that everything is getting like
It's all digital, baby.